Here are our top 10 rags to riches success stories of all times. Number 10. Chris Gardner. This is the man whose life has inspired the Will Smith starrer Pursuit of Happiness, physically abused by his stepfather as a child and placed in the foster home. Gardner vows did not leave him even as he grew up to marry and to be a father. As shown in the movie, Gardner struggled with homelessness while raising his kid. It was the strength of the lessons learned from his mother that he went from rags to riches by tenaciously building up himself to be a CEO of his own stock brokerage firm, Gardner Rich and Company. Number 9. Damon John. Damon John, a black boy growing up in Queens. One would not have pegged John as a potential entrepreneur who would not go on to become the CEO of the hip hop clothing brand FEBU, but that he did with an entrepreneurial instinct that he owned from his school days. Selling popular wool hats at half their market price, he mortgaged their house for future business expansion. It well paid off, and he now is one of the most influential motivation speakers in America. Number 8. J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, born in a lowly English family, Rowling battled depression, suicidal tendencies, and poverty to become one of the most loved British authors in the world for a hugely popular Harry Potter series. Highly imaginative as a kid who thrived on stories, she drew from her surroundings and the people in her life of inspiration for the books, which has now become one of the biggest movie franchises. From her humble beginnings, she has grown up to one of the most powerful women in the United Kingdom. Number 7. Oprah Winfrey. Born to a housemaid and to a coal miner, Oprah definitely did not grow in the lap of luxury, living the life of poverty where she used to have wear dresses made out of potato sacks and was molested by relatives. She entered the world of media after getting the job as a newsreader in the local black radio Chicago. There was no looking back for this TV personality. Number 6. John Paul Di Giora. Don Paul Di Giora, born to Italian and Greek immigrant parents, this billionaire had to sell newspapers when he was 9 to support his family. He has lived in the foster home, being part of a street gang, and jumped through a number of jobs. With a loan of $700, he began is now known the world as a Paul Mitchell line of hair products. He went on to own 70% of the Patron Spirit Company, the world's ultra premier tequila brand. If this is not a rags to riches story, we do not know what it is. Number 5. Richard Branson. Branson went from being a dialytic kid who performed badly in school to a British business magnate with a net worth of 4.6 billion. There was a time when Richard Branson started his record business from the crypt of a church, and now he is the fourth richest citizen in the UK. This entrepreneur is an example of how one can be eccentric and yet rake in the moolah. He had his finger in many pies: record label, airways, and telecom. Number 4. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. This Apple founder is one a household name. Jobs was given away from the adoption by his biological parents, and he became interested in electronics after his foster dad showed him the joys of technical tinkering in their garage. He had to drop out of college because his education was costing his foster parents a lot. He used to return Coke bottles for money and live on free meals at the Hare Krishna temple. A hippie who used to trip on LSD, Jobs went from technician in Atari Inc. to become the CEO of Apple Inc. Number 3. Ralph Lauren. Born in a strict Jewish family with a house painter for a father, Ralph Lauren grew up with big dreams. He used to sell ties to his classmates to earn some cash, and he mentioned in this yearbook that he wanted to be a millionaire. His interest in ties went on, helps his put his foot through the doors of the biggest achievements in the fashion world. When he has signed on the design the clothes for The Great Gatsby in '74, he has catapulted into the fame which he commands today. Number 2. Walt Disney. Our childhood would not have been dreary without this genius of a man. Walt Disney was also another brought up in a farm and used to draw pictures for his neighbors for money. He used to be the cartoonist for the school newspaper. Disney went through the jobless phase where no one hired him, and his brother had to help him out of his job search. He went on from rags to riches by starting out his advertisement and going on to animating his own cartoons. Number 1. Henry Ford. Henry Ford was a farm boy who went on to revolutionize transportation industry in America. Ford was very interested in mechanics from a young age. When he dismantled and reassembled a pocket watch at the age of 15 his father had given him, he self-taught watch repairman who graduated to be an apprentice machinist. Ford started his personal experiments on gasoline engines. It was the beginning of the vast Ford empire, and this is our top 10 rags to riches success stories of all times. Please do comment, share, like, and subscribe the channel.